here today with Brendan Sharkey, Head of Construction and Estate at MHA McIntyre Hudson. Brendan, we've just heard the Chancellor's economic update, within which he announced a whole raft of measures to support jobs and boost housing, amongst other things. But what would your comment be on the impact of the Chancellor's statement on the construction and real estate sector in particular?
Thank you, Martha. Yeah, I've had a look at the statement, and I can see two areas really: the stamp duty reduction, which I'm sure everybody has seen, and also the money that's going into energy saving. If I look at stamp duty, I suppose it was highlighted. I didn't know it was going to come through, actually, if I'm honest. The clear statement here is that where a property costs in excess of 500,000, there's an immediate saving of £15,000, which can't be sniffed at. This should increase the volume of transactions. I mean, you know, that's the stimulus I think he's looking for, and the lawyers and estate agents and surveyors, I'm sure, will see that as a benefit. It's immediate, so auctions, etc. I would expect to see an uplift in transactions. So this works for the existing housing stock, but you know, new homes is very different. I mean, there's a timeline as to when property can actually come on stream. And oven ready, as we call it in the trade, you know, property, I'm sure that will be brought forward and developed quickly as possible to meet, hopefully, the expected demand. However, you can't just turn on the water or turn on the switch and have more property just like that. And we've got a March deadline. That March deadline might change. Hopefully it will, certainly for new homes. I'd love to see new homes get an extension. But at the present time, the developers are stuck with the problem of delivering by the 31st of March, 8 months, and they've got to cope with the bad weather, winter, which is not the greatest time for construction.
So is there anything you think that he really should have done but didn't?
Well, before I get on to that, I just wanted to mention the benefit of the energy saving. You know, there is money there. I quite like the 1 billion going for the energy saving for public buildings. I think that will hit the SME market, the trades and whatever. I'm not so positive about what they call the green recovery, 2 billion. I know what's going to happen in my mind. The big companies are going to roll out a marketing campaign. They're going to make it easy for individuals to sign up. They will probably offer finance to cover for the bit that's not covered by the grant, because it's not all covered. And I think they'll mop that bit up. And yeah, it will bring work to the industry, but I'm not sure it's long term, and that slightly worries me. In fairness, the government have announced significant expenditure, capital expenditure on infrastructure, 88 million in the budget. And what needs to happen there is it needs to come through quickly. It's the speed. As what he didn't do, the thing I've been on about, and good luck to the entertaining industry, if you like, they got a VAT reduction. I would have loved to have seen that reduction come across to the homeowner that wants to do an extension. COVID-19, I think, has brought to people's mind the idea, look, I don't really want the cost of moving, but I probably need a little bit more space. And I really think the local builder could have really tapped into that. And, you know, if you take an extension that costs sort of like £100,000, the cost of the exchequer is 15%, 15,000, which is what he's giving away for the SDLT. Now, hold on a minute. I actually think that is a better deal for the economy, because lots of people share in the work that's done, whereas the SDLT on stamp duty for the sales is just moving property around. So I would have loved to have seen for a time a reduction in the VAT. Yeah, I would have thought the economy, the local authorities are going to benefit. They get a rating increase valuation. Everybody benefits if people invest in their homes. So missed opportunity there. One other thing I've been advocating is SDLT relief for downsizers. Actually, if you think about it, with this reduction, that could come to play. A property costing $750 would only cost $12,500 in VAT, SDLT. So maybe that could be a move, and maybe the market will adjust to that. So didn't hit all the buttons for me, but it's got something.
So you touched on the economy just now. From past experience, do you think the measures that have been put in place will help the economy as he's intended, or not quite?
He talks about volume of transactions being poor during the COVID-19. SDLT should increase transactions, no question. What it does for the economy, I'm not really sure. But yes, the volume should be there. I'm not sure what will happen on new builds. I think he's not really seeing the longer term problem of new building. The infrastructure spending will help, yeah, no doubt. But again, speed, what is it going to come out? So let's see. I do question his policy of giving the SDLT relief for second homes. You know, when he put in place a policy that actually put a 3% surcharge, he's gone against that slightly now. And I can see a lot of people looking at old Cornwall again and saying, let's get that holiday cottage now while the going is good. So I'm surprised he's opened that door, but he has, and let's see what happens. Stability of house prices in the marketplace is not clear, and I think the SDLT saving will help, but unemployment is on the horizon, and unemployment always affects property prices. So on one hand, he may be seeing an upturn, but unemployment could bring the values down. Mortgage companies, by the way, are already looking for higher deposits because they are worried about particularly first-time buyers actually having that negative equity, and nobody likes negative equity. So therefore, the SDLT saving that he's giving everybody actually may go into increased deposits that the mortgage company requires. So some things there I think might not come out quite as what he thought. However, he has a budget coming up and he might like to fine-tune some of those things when he sees the reality.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the autumn budget, isn't it, being deemed as the biggest since the Second World War? So I think we've all got to wait on our tenterhooks for that one. So just to wrap up, Brendan, how would you sum up the Chancellor's initiatives for the sector this time?
The good news is there's no bad news. Let's be fair. You know, there's nothing said yesterday that actually said, oh my God, actually there are opportunities, and people that in the right frame of mind, house builders or whatever, will want to get on with it. The tradesmen can look at opportunities that come out of what's been said. So yeah, there's nothing negative. If he gets the infrastructure spending going, this could all be very good news. I do think the autumn budget will need to take things further. This is a short-term initial kick-off. It's the long term that we've got to be looking about, you know, and he wants jobs. He wants the economy to pick up. Not sure all of that is going to come the budget. Hopefully he will have another rethink. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Brendan.